Let's move on to item number 41. How many three-digit numbers that are multiples of 5 are there? Is it 178, 179, 180, or 181? From here, we know that we have to identify these numbers first, and the smallest of which is 100. And since they are multiples of 5, so we have 100, 105, 110, all the way until the largest three-digit number that is a multiple of 5, which is 995. And if you could see, they are forming an arithmetic sequence with a common difference of 5. And we have to recall the formula for arithmetic sequence. So we have a sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. So the last number 995 could be our a sub n. So our first term is 100. So 995 equals 100 plus n minus 1 times the common difference, which is 5. Our goal here is to solve for the value of n. Subtracting both sides by 100, you have 895 equals n minus 1 times 5. Dividing both sides by 5, so we will have 895 divided by 5 is 179 equals, when the right-hand side is divided by 5, it will be n minus 1. And adding 1 both sides, you have 180 equals n. Thus, there are 180 three-digit numbers that are multiples of 5. Letter C. 42. The value of the discriminant of a quadratic equation is 25. What is true of its roots? Real and equal, real, unequal, rational, real, unequal, irrational, or imaginary? From here, we know that roots are real and equal if the discriminant has a value of 0. Real, unequal, and rational if it is a positive perfect square. Real, unequal, but irrational when it is positive but not a perfect square. And lastly, imaginary if the discriminant is negative. If you could see that 25 here is a positive perfect square, hence we are sure that the roots will be real, unequal, and rational. Letter B. 43. The domain of y equals x plus 1 all over x squared minus 4 is the set of real numbers except 1, 2, negative 2, 2, 1, 2, negative 2, or 1, negative 2. Now, from here, we could actually see that when we speak about the domain of a rational function, we have to make sure that the denominator will not be equal to 0. That is why the x plus 1 here will not matter, but we have to make sure that x squared minus 4 should not be equal to 0. But first, let us solve for values that will make this 0. So x squared minus 4 is equal to 0. And this is a difference of 2 squares, which is factorable as x minus 2 times x plus 2 equals 0. And equating each of the factors to 0, you have x equals negative 2 and 2. So these two values will make the denominator 0. And these two values then will make the expression undefined. Hence, x could be any real number except negative 2 and 2, letter B. 44. A certain recipe demands 4.5 cups of sugar for every 7 cups of flour. If 28 cups of flour will be used, how much sugar in cups is needed? Is it 12, 14, 16, or 18? This is an example of what we call uh, of a problem that involves direct proportion. So here, let X be the amount of sugar needed. So by this is sugar cups, so 4.5 for every 7. So 4.5 is to 7 equals X amount of sugar needed is to 28. And in a proportion, we have to remember that the product of the means is equal to the product of the extremes. So 7 times X, we have 7X. 4.5 times 28 is 126. And dividing both sides by 7 to solve the value of X, we have X equals 18. Letter D. 45. In inverse proportion, when one quantity increases, the other what? Rises and falls, stays the same, increases, or decreases. We have to remember that in direct proportion, it's two things. If one increases, the other also increase. Or if one decreases, the other also decreases. That's for direct proportion. For inverse or indirect proportion, it's the other way around. They are in opposite directions. If one increases, the other decreases. Or if the first variable decreases, then the second one has to increase. Since we are talking about inverse proportion and one quantity increases, then the other should be the opposite. Hence, the other should decrease. Letter D. 46. I have 84 marbles. I plan to give them to Anne and Ben in the ratio 5:7. How many marbles will Ben receive? Is it 49, 42, 35, or 28? So this is an example of a partitive proportion. In these 84 marbles, the ratio of Anne to Ben is 5:7. 5 parts will go to Anne and 7 parts will go to Ben, which means that there are 5 plus 7 or 12 parts in all. But in this case, since there are 84 marbles and there are 12 parts, this means that there are 84 divided by 12 or 7 marbles per part. And remember, since we are after of Ben's share and Ben will get 7 parts and that's 7 per part, then Ben will get 7 times 7 or 49 marbles. Letter A. I hope you got it. 47. How many milligrams are there in 1 kilogram? Is it 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, or 10 million? So this could be solved by knowing the proper conversions. We have to note that 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. And how about 1 gram? 1 gram is equal to 1,000 milligrams each. And we know that 1 kilogram, we will multiply it by its equivalent, which is 1,000 grams over 1 kilogram. Why did I make the 1 over kilogram at the denominator? Because my intention is to cancel them. This is 1, remember, this is 1. But I chose the 1 kilogram to be at the bottom because I wanted to cancel it. And if that's the case, the grams will be left. And also, we know that 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams. And this is in fact 1,000 milligrams over 1 gram is again another equal to 1. because they are equal, by the way. But I chose to have the 1 gram at the denominator because of my intention again to cancel the grams. So kilogram, kilogram canceled, gram and gram canceled. What will be left will be in milligrams. So simplifying this, so these are just all ones here at the bottom. And the numerator will be 1,000 times 1,000. That's 1 million milligrams. Hence, 1 kilogram is 1 million milligrams, letter C. Okay. I hope you're getting correct so far. 48. A class of 50 students is composed of 32 females. What percent of the class are males? 28, 36, 48, 64 is males rather. So if there are 32 females out of the 50 students, it is understood then that there are 50 minus 32 or 18 males. And we need to convert this to percent. Our answer should be in percent. So 18 is what percent of 50? So to do that, we will divide 18 with the total, which is 50, but we have to multiply it with 100% so that the answer will be in terms of percent. And 100% divided by 50 will be 2%. And multiplying 18 times 2% gives us 36%, letter D. Okay. 49. If the letters of the word pencil are written on separate pieces of paper for drawing of lots, which of the following is true? A. The probability of getting a vowel is greater than of consonants. Probability of getting a vowel is equal to those of consonants. The probability of getting a vowel is less than those of consonants. Or D. The probability of getting a consonant is less than those of vowels. We know that, remember, the vowels are in the English alphabet, are your E and I. And in this case, we have A, E, I, O, and U as the vowels. In this word pencil, E and I are the vowels, where the rest are already consonants. So in this case, you could see that there are more consonants than vowels, or there are fewer vowels than consonants. So if you will be drawing lots, expect that the probability, in talking about classical probability, the probability or chance of getting a vowel is less than those of consonants. Letter C. 50. In how many ways can 7 children be selected from a group of 10? 120, 140, 620, or 720? From here, we have to remember that since order does not matter, so this is a combination problem. So we know that the formula for combination is NCR equals n factorial all over n minus r factorial there are 10 students, so our 10 is our C, our n rather is 10, and our r is 7. And by substitution, you have 10 factorial all over 10 minus 7 factorial, 7 factorial. Simplifying this, the numerator, you will have 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 factorial because of my intention to cancel it with the other 7 factorial here. The 10 minus 7 will be 3, and we have the factorial. And 3 factorial means 3 times 2 times 1 or 6. And hence, since I could cancel this, I have 10 times 9 times 8 all over 6. Using your calculators, you have 120. That's letter A. Or if you wish, you could encode 10C7 in your calculator, and I'm sure that you will still get 120. I hope that you've learned something out of the discussion for today. And God bless everyone, and a great day to one and all.